I'm in the gi in Germany with someone very special. Professor Victor Estima is here. He just did an amazing seminar. Guys, you know I love playing the saddle, love going for leg locks. He just showed me some really cool stuff on this position in the gi. Professor, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me here on the channel. It's a pleasure. Let's go straight into this now, everyone. So this is one of the common grounds here when somebody is working on a half guard and they like to play the underhook sit-up position here and they're trying to attack my back and everything. I often feel like a really good half guard play here is quite dangerous, and I need to find a way to figure out how to deal with this underhook when I already lost control of the situation. So one of the things I like to do, I put the weight on the hip here because I want to delay the hip coming up, because of course if it goes already up, I already lost the timing. So that gives me enough time to be able to slide my knee just over the hip and my hand will go right in. So if you circle really quickly here, so technically I just slide it in and always marking potential entries with this hand on the way out. So I'm always figuring out a way, because now I have my feet on the ground and I have this frame. It gives me a lot of abilities to lift my hip around, see? So quickly I can lift. But what I'm going to do in this case, I'm going to turn my knee slightly to give me freedom to my hips to turn, because this is a critical thing. Just because I use the hip here, the knee pressing the hip, doesn't mean that my knee is going to be pointed that all the time. He only does to stop the entry and give me time to move. And now look, knee in, step behind that thigh. So see, once I have that position, I have the right angle. But instead of falling back on my bum, I'll fall back into my shoulder. Look. One, and here, out of the triangle, I can try to find a little bit of pressure. Right now, what's happening here? He is thinking what's happening to the legs. It's not worried too much about the arm until I start to create some tensions on the arm, staying over. And now I have multiple attack scenarios. This here is a system that I have in place. Here, there's potential attacks on the foot, there's potential attack on the knee, there's potential attacks on the arm and on the neck. So I'll go one by one here for you. The neck pressure is about holding with my 4 fingers, and I hold the lapel, and I push and I punch into the neck. And this is quite heavy because they don't know what to do to stop it. They cannot run away from this position. This, when it goes, 11, 3, he's gonna give me, if he doesn't tap, he's starting to expose his own arm. So I use this choking pressure to create a response to choke or to make sure the arms slide up. So if you can come here really quickly, so from the top, we can be here in a position where the arms really combine. So now hands goes on the shoulder. I have the rear naked choke hit and the arm gets really strong. If I want to forget about it here, what's going on, you can see here that I can start attacking foot locks or even some good knee position here. So this is a multifaceted attack reference. So if I go back here one more time, he went in, hold, stop, one hand. As this is going already, this is already pressure, potentially, but he's gonna fight to come up. It's gonna be about one, lean to the side, and start to flatten the punch. And then you maybe try to walk away from it, push the shoulder, lock, and I've got the situation nice and tight. And then, yes, can I work this out and why work this? Yes, there's a lot of play here, a lot of defenses. He's gonna try to give me a bit of trouble, try to hook around and lose this position. So I'm always managing a lot here. Maybe you hold the pants, maybe you can come over, creating a little bit of tension. But what I do, I like to play the threats here. Even if I'm not decided where I'm going, I still keep my arm here because it doesn't like this. It's very uncomfortable, this situation. So from here, I can create little threats. So if I want to let it go this, look, automatically, I can go for the knee bump. So that's a fun to play around. Most people do not expect this level of reference because technically you'd be in a position where you get rolled over, but because of the saddle, it locks the position and it creates an unorthodox level of attack, which I like to trick people into. And I have a lot of fun with it, so hopefully guys back home can also have some fun in this move. And thanks you.
Beautiful. So we did a lot of passing today. I know you're a really good passador. So when you're in this position with knee shield, you feel it coming up for the dog. That's when you change to maybe the back step. You choose to opt with this dilemma because you create the dilemma. You got the choke, you got the arm, you got the leg, you got all the options available. You're not just diving for a leg lock. What a lot of people do when they backstep, they're like, oh, okay, let's spam the knee bar and hope it works, because you give up a top position. In this case, you don't give up that much, and only if they go film. Guys, what's hard to see on camera is when Professor puts my hip away with the first grip. I think this is a detail if you want to practice this at home, is as I go up, the pressure on the hip to keep my hip low. That allows him to put the knee to replace the left hand, and that's something I felt during the move that's so super tight, and I think this makes the move click. I'm gonna play around with this, thank you so much. Guys, if you're ever in Lisbon, Portugal, that's where they can find you, right?
Yes, that's right. There's my school, Gracie, Barra, and Gracie, Benfica. You can find us there. But also, I'm sure there's many other schools of Gracie around that you can visit and connect to our global community. So that's it, everyone. So thank you very much
for watching. See you next one. Peace.